Hi and welcome to this new video. Today we're going to unbox this mystery package here. In the title you can already read what's in there, but I personally don't know. It just has arrived, so maybe this video is a total fail and it's something my mom has ordered. So let's take a look inside. I know it might be the DOS XR or the Dockin D Fine, I'm not sure. Or Dockin D Fine, not Dockin D Fine. Let's check. Really curious. And it's the Dockin D Fine. Super cool. That's the speaker I'm most excited for. Wow, here it is. And we have some writing in here. I will read this later. Let's put everything aside. And here we have the packaging of the Dockin D Fine. Maybe you don't know the speaker. It's, I think, only sold in Germany, so this video should actually be in German, but I think there aren't that many English videos about it. So maybe some of you live in the UK, you can, I don't know, import it, or I think that Amazon Germany even imports things to the US, so I'm not sure, but maybe you can also get it on eBay or something. So it will be also quite interesting to do this video in English, but maybe there will also be a German version. Now let's cut this open here. Packaging looks already really nice. Let's do this. And open this up. It currently goes for only $140. And as you can already see from Olaf's videos, this speaker right here is a real JBL Extreme killer. Because always when people ask me what's the best alternative to the JBL Extreme, I cannot name any. Maybe the Go Play, but it's too big. It's just not easy to carry around. Battery life is total crap. It's not waterproof. And it's, I think, only the same loudness and not even much louder, but it sounds way better. So people ask me again, what's the best one? And I think this is the only one which can really compete. It's almost the same size. It's as loud as the JBL, but sounds better on max. Also, I think has a boost for lower levels. At a normal level, it totally outperforms the JBL. Deeper bass, nicer bass, cleaner sound and everything. So it's a really exciting speaker. It also has a great battery life. Here we can see 10 hours, but I think it lasted quite a long time on max volume. Yeah, 600 milliamp hour battery. Which of course is quite a bit, but not as big as on the JBL, which is I think 10,000 milliamp hours, but still it's enough. And it's also designed in Germany, or in Berlin to be exact, which is nice because that's the city I come from. Here we have some accessories, so we have the manual and also the carrying bag, which is nice, as I don't quite like to carry my speakers around without a protection. I'm always worried of them getting scratched or something. That's the speaker. Let's check this. I think it's just the cables. Yeah, you can see it's just the charging cable and an auxiliary cable, but it needs a proprietary charger, of course, for this big battery. At least that's a good excuse. Unlike all of the Sony products, which have like very small batteries or normal sized batteries and still need the very big chargers. Let's remove this. And unwrap it from this foil right here. And here it is. Oh wow, I always wanted to test this speaker. And it's so great that the company sent me this. I totally forgot to tell you this. The company sent me one. I met one guy at the IFA and he told me that he would really like me to test one. And that's of course great. So a big thank you to you. Maybe you are watching. As it's really great. I didn't want to buy the speaker as I wanted to invest into some new speakers like the FIFA Reykjavik. Or the JBL Boombox, as I don't think that they will send me one, but he just said, yeah, you can test this one for free and maybe even keep it, and that's just, yeah, great. In the back you can see we have the two huge passive radiators, not sure if you can see them, but we have two very big passive radiators here, 2 tweeters right here. They look almost the same as the one of the JBL, but they produce way better treble, and we also have some full range drivers which really look similar to the ones of Dayton. I maybe have one around here, but they look just the same as the one from Dayton, so maybe they use them. And yeah, where's the flap? Okay, here it is. And underneath here you have all of your ports. So you have a USB out port to charge a mobile device, charging port, micro USB for service, I don't know what's, maybe for update, and an auxiliary port to connect old devices. It's also splash waterproof, which is nice. I think the JBL Extreme is the only JBL speaker now which is also only splash proof and not fully submergible like the new Boombox. So yeah, they are pretty equal, and I was already turned it on.
Dockin speaker activated.
Dockin speaker activated. And yeah, it's turned on now. And please put up your headphones, as this is a binaural microphone recording and they require headphones to be listened to. And I will just wear my headphones, I will wear my headphones, my microphones and my head cam and enjoy the sound check. So now let's first compare it against the JBL Extreme. I already turned it on and let's check the Bluetooth settings here. And maybe it turned off automatically. Yes. So as you could hear, the welcome tones are nicely soft, or I think now it's off. Now it's on again. And it should go into pairing mode.
Pairing mode.
Yes, we already found it. Dockin D Fine.
Bluetooth connected.
And soon there will also be another version. I think it's slightly bigger, but it will also sound even better. I think it will be around $200, and I might also test this one as I'm very excited for it. Those speakers are really good sounding. And it's also turned on the JBL Extreme. Maybe some of you wonder why I haven't sold it yet, but I really like this speaker. Although the sound isn't that great, I bought it in Poland as one of the first people. I think it was in the small electronics store in Poland 1 week before we had it in Germany, in Berlin, in the flagship store of one electronic, market, which was really crazy. So I don't want to sell it. But now let's check it out with this track here, and let's start with JBL. Volume isn't synced here. Alright, if you hold the volume button, it will skip the track. So I think you have, if you hold it, it switches tracks, and if you press it once, it will make the speaker louder. Now let's try the Dockin. Yeah, this sounds really drowning due to the 70 Hz boost. This sounds way better. And although Dockin didn't went for a hi-fi tuning here, it still sounds very, very nice and very good to my ears. We could hear some very good hi-fi tuning from the Audio Pro T5 here, and of course obviously all of the FIFA products, including the FIFA Helsinki and the new FIFA Reykjavik. But fun tuning with a lot of bass and a lot of treble doesn't necessarily, have to be something bad. As many people say, hi-fi tuning is good and bass booster tuning is very bad. There are just some speakers like the JBL Extreme where they just push the bass a little bit too far for the drivers and the speaker already becomes hollow or out of control sounding. So the JBL has a very big bass boost at about, I think, 76 Hz, and the drivers just cannot handle this. You can hear it slightly distorts at the very bass end, and on max volume it sounds totally out of control with all of the, processing things going on which try to fix the sound, but it doesn't quite work. And Dockin really, has a great tuning here. Although it's not flat, like I already mentioned, it has a big bass boost and a big treble boost. It still sounds nice and very clean, as the drivers can just handle it. And this is just, how I want to see a speaker. If they go for bass tuning or, fun tuning, they should do it correctly. And unlike JBL with the Extreme, where it just doesn't sound clean anymore. So now let's check out one more track. Always takes some time. As you can hear, the Dockin just outperforms the JBL. It's a really massive difference. The JBL started at $300, while the Dockin is still at about $140. Currently, you can pick up the JBL Extreme for, $200 or $190 if you get lucky, which, I don't know, still is $50 more than the Dockin. And in my opinion, the Dockin is the way better speaker for that kind of money. You could hear it sounds way more controlled, nicer bass kick. And as we all know, the JBL has quite a, I don't know, big boost at 76 Hertz. And many people think, wow, that's awesome. But this is just the kind of boomy bass. The Dockin has bass down to, I think, about 60 or 65 Hertz, which isn't super deep, but definitely way better sounding than the JBL. Let's check out this track by Nitrogood. Yeah, the JBL also swallows the first seconds of the track all the time. You can hear the sounds already way better. Also vibrates quite a lot due to the passive radiators at the back, but that's no issue. Sorry, I accidentally switched the tracks. Let's try this again, sorry. And maybe check out this part here. Lights up, crystal clear water, blue skies. It doesn't sound linear at all. Driving for 1,000 miles is nowhere else I wanna be. This sounds mature, way clearer. As you can hear, although the JBL has this very big boost at about 80 or 76 Hertz, and as you can hear, although the JBL has this big bass boost at 76 Hertz to be exact, it is missing the bass kick. So the Dockin really delivers this nice bass kick, which gives the music a lot of drive, which is totally missing from the JBL. It does have this boomy room bass, but the Dockin just, I don't know, has the deeper, nicer kicking bass. So let's check out another track here. Just listen to this kick in the track here. Now switch to the Dockin. Sounds way more powerful. Again, although it has this bass boost, it's missing the nice deep bass kick. Also treble and mid sound a bit off compared to the Dockin. I'll take it to the motorway. Speed racing. Ooh, I wanna take you there. Show you a fancy car. I promise we can take it slow. Can I get away with this? Let's check out a jazz track now. As you could hear, I forgot to stop the music. So let's check out a jazz track now. And let's see which one sounds better here. Again, swallowed the first second. I don't know why there wasn't an update for this. Way clearer sounding. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung. The mids sound very covered compared to the Dockin. Also this nice smooth jazz bass is missing. Yeah, this sounds so much more relaxed. And again, this just shows JBL, I don't know, messed up the bass tuning with the extreme. You can hear still has this big bass boost at 80 Hertz, but you don't get anything from this when you listen to a serious, I don't know, jazz music or something. With the other tracks, you could hear the JBL could almost keep up, although it was still missing the kick. But with those tracks, you get, I don't know, very tinny sound, as those bass frequencies are way below 80 Hertz. Maybe, I don't know, let's check out another jazz track here, which I used quite often back in the days. Or even now. doesn't sound quite right. Somehow a bit diffused. This is how it's supposed to sound.
I'm thinking of you, babe, and it's playing on repeat.
But now I think we have heard enough of the JBL Extreme, and let's maybe check it out against one of the best portable speakers, the FIFA Helsinki. Of course, this comparison is very unfair. The FIFA is almost 3 times the price, so it's $400 compared to $140 or even $30 here. I think I already saw it for $99 one time ago, and it is just an awesome deal for this kind of sound. And let's check out the same track we heard before again with the FIFA Helsinki compared to the Dockin. Let's check this out here. And of course you won't get the resolution from the FIFA on the Dockin. This is just unfair, but just to give you reference.
Chestnuts roasting.
And with the Dockin you can hear it sounds almost as clear, but this is just due to the treble boost at 5 kHz. You could also hear this kind of hiss, which is a, a side effect of this kind of boost. So you will hear a lot of hiss and a lot of clear tones, which, appear very, high resolution sounding for your ear. And on the other side there's the FIFA, and this speaker really has resolution up to over 20 kHz, which overall sounds of course better. It offers more resolution and no treble boost compared to the Dockin, which offers less resolution but needs to compensate with a treble boost. All over, I would prefer the FIFA with, treble, but the Dockin also, had a good compromise here for price and sound. So you can hear this slight hiss and this very clear sound, which, sounds a bit artificial compared to the FIFA. This sounds very, very linear. The very high tone sound, super defined here. But again, like I already told you, it's a nice compromise because in order to get a lot of resolution, you need to get better drivers, and this just makes your price higher. So they wanted to keep the cost down low. They used normal price tweeters maybe, and then implemented this kind of treble boost, which actually is okay for anyone. I mean, the treble is, one of the better trebles on the market, better than the JBL Extreme, and probably better than most other speakers in this price category for sure. Just not as good as the FIFA, but it's of course again unfair as the FIFA is $400, which is a lot more money than the Dockin is. Let's check out this track here, a lot of bass in here. You can hear bass is very comparable, maybe even more powerful on the Dockin. They are very comparable here. So it is really, a very tight competition, as the FIFA only offers better treble and mids with very hi-fi jazz tracks, but with normal music like I just showed you, you won't notice, that big of a difference between those two speakers despite the big price difference. Sorry, what's wrong with me? Despite the big price difference. Let's check out this one more track here and then we are done. Again, this appears even clearer sounding, although this is just a treble boost. yeah, I think this is it from this comparison. I think that the Dockin is a really good sounding speaker. Even compared to the very more expensive FIFA Helsinki, you could hear it was very comparable sounding. I mean, bass kick is even maybe better on the Dockin, although the FIFA reaches a little bit deeper, but this is, I don't know, nothing to be noticed all the time. So the Dockin has, I don't know, almost better bass kick than the FIFA. The mids sound a bit better on the FIFA, and I would overall prefer the FIFA for hi-fi listening or something. But for casual listening, for modern music, the Dockin might even be a bit more fun in everyday use. So if you just turn on the music and you really want to, I don't know, get this powerful bass, the Dockin might even be the better speaker for you, despite, I don't know, the 2 or 3 times less price of the FIFA. But again, if you are a real hi-fi listener, and you say, okay, I have $400 left, which speaker should I buy? I would definitely say the FIFA Helsinki, as it is still a little bit, I don't know, better sounding. It has a really hi-fi tuning, treble is super refined, a lot of resolution, very clear mids, but despite the price tag of the Dockin, again, despite the price tag of the Dockin, it sounds just great. It has a very good bass boost, a very good bass kick, of course. Very nice treble, although maybe the treble boost is a little bit too big, but it sounds, I don't know, even comparable to a FIFA Helsinki, even when you play jazz tracks, which is very impressive for such a, I don't know, cheap speaker. When you compare to the competition. So yeah, I don't know, my final verdict for this video here is that Dockin really has a nice speaker there, which can, I don't know, beat out any other speaker in this price category in, I don't know, anything. It is splash proof, it looks nice, high quality, good battery, very loud, good bass kick, nice treble. So it's a really good sounding speaker. And I also like that they, I don't know, didn't go for hi-fi tuning here, because as long as you do the bass boosted and treble boosted tuning well, I am a friend of this. I mean, it's good sounding, it is a lot of fun, maybe not super hi-fi sounding, but still, that doesn't necessarily mean something bad. But if you do it like JBL did with this very big bass boost, I rather stick with the hi-fi tuning, but in this case, I'm totally fine with it. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Until then, have a great time and bye bye.